Hello, dear Polymer Clay enthusiast. I'm Mihaela from Learn Polymer Clay, and I've prepared a beautiful tutorial using blue metallic clay. As always, I've started by properly conditioning the polymer clay, and I'm working with Cernit blue metallic polymer clay and also navy blue polymer clay. So I've conditioned the polymer clay and then I passed this through a thinner setting where I passed the machine. I've been using the setting number 3. And then I am going to use a beautiful create a long silkscreen to impress a beautiful metallic design on top of the clay. So I'm using the blooms around the world silkscreen that you'll have to flip on the back, and then you'll have to put the orange side down, and then you'll just have to press mica powder, gold mica powder, through the silkscreen into the clay, and the more you insist, the better definition you will get in the final design. Of course, the color of your background does influence the contrast between the mica powder and the color of the clay. So I surely encourage you to try other colors of mica powders to see the contrasting effect. And then I've used the smallest cutter from the Create a Long Lisa Pavelka Triangle Cutter series. And I like these cutters very much, and I use them very often in my work. You'll have to smooth out the edges, as always, when working with clay. And then you'll have to use your rigid blade and cut the pieces in half. And then you'll have to decide which color you are going to use for the background, because I intend to put these pieces cut in half, put them together and make a piece. But of course I intend to make a back, and I will put these pieces on top of the textured back, and then I passed more blue metallic polymer clay through the pasta machine on the 4th setting, and I'm going to cut thin strips of clay, and I'm going to do the same for the navy blue polymer clay. You could make a Skinner blend of these colors and cut the resulting sheet of polymer clay with the waving blade if you'd like. So I'm not very sure that this would be very visible in the final design, but it could be an idea. I preferred to make some marbled clay using the two colors, and using in fact the thin strips of clay alternating the colors, and then I put this through the pasta machine on the 4th setting again. So this is the resulting marbled clay, and again I've used the wavy blade and I cut more thin strips. And then I am going to use a rather large metal cutter that I intend to put into the oven, so it has to be made of metal. I've marked where I began, where I started to form the round shape, and I intend to make such thin strips of clay all around, pressing them into each other very lightly. So I added 2 rows of blue metallic clay. Then I'm going to continue starting from the marked point with another row cut out from the marbled clay. Don't forget to trim off the excess clay on the edges of those strips, and you'll have to gently smooth off the line where the two strips meet, especially for the last one, which is going to be more visible. So I added 2 rows cut out from the marbled clay, and I will finish with the strip of clay cut out from the navy blue. And it is very important to stop at the marked point, so you'll have to start the next row at the marked point on the marker or on the cutter, marked on the cutter. And I will end the piece when I reach the marked point, the marked starting point. And it is very important to smooth off the seam line between the two strips of clay. And then I will just bake the clay on the cutter. I decided to marble more clay from the 2 colors, and then I've used a floral stamp to impress a beautiful pattern, and again I used some gold mica powder on the back. If you think you've put too much mica powder, you can always use Scotch tape and remove the excess. So this is going the back of the piece. I flip the clay on the other side, and then I'm going to gently press the pieces, the cutout pieces, into the base. Because I'm working with small pieces of clay, I can put them on the same sheet of textured clay. Use parchment paper to lightly press them into the base polymer clay. Smooth off the edges, work on the shape of the beads. I think that the pieces when I on which I removed the seam line in the middle, I've used the smoothing tool and smooth off the line in the middle were more beautiful. And then I baked the pieces for 40 minutes at the temperature recommended by the polymer clay manufacturer. And then I used my hand drilling tool to drill holes. And you have to drill a hole in the upper part, and if you want to attach such elements and make dangling earrings, you'll have to drill a hole in the bottom and do your best to align the 2 holes. And then I've used gold color jump rings to attach the elements. And I'm going to use more jump rings to attach the earring finding. And then I decided I could add a blue briolet because I like mixing beads, especially crystal beads, sometimes pearls or other kind of beads, with polymer clay. And I finished by attaching a small metal component for decoration. And of course, when using mica powders with polymer clay, you'll have to apply varnish to protect your pieces. I've used glossy varnish for a glossy look. I prefer this look for my pieces. Here are 3 variations of the same idea. So you can make small cute earrings, you can make dangling earrings, or you can make statement earrings just like the ones you've seen in the video. I invite you to subscribe to my channel for more inspiration for work with polymer clay, for tips and tricks and seasonal tutorials to keep you inspired and creative. Thank you.